matches played in Wild, but the Druid, this has been gaining more and more sort of ramp, should I say. They're really ramping up as a strong deck, with a lot of top players hitting very, very high legend and having success in tournaments. Let's get into the first game.
Pretty straightforward mulligan for the Chillblade Crusaders. Probably not a lot of discussion going on there. None of those cards said the word gain on them, so they threw them away.
Let's get some sick gains.
Yeah.
Okay, well, on the other side there, big time Buccaneers. Just got to think about a couple of things. They know, or they're probably confident they're against a slow deck. Aggro Druid has been pretty good, but with the Aya, it's a pretty good value for Jade, especially when you've got the Jade Claws, but there are just a lot of cards early on that can help. The special power totems mainly, you know, the Mana Tide, the Flame Tongues, for example. They're pretty huge, and Barnes, I mean, that's not bad to drop just on turn 4 here.
Primal Fin Totem, the big one though, that is very irritating for Druid to deal with. It trades 1-for-1 with Wrath, having already spawned a 1-1 and then passes the initiative back to you, so you just get to snowball off that 1-1 Murloc that you pick up.
Sometimes it feels like Druid ramps quick enough to just Ultimate Infestation that Primal Fin. On curve.
What? What kind of games have you been playing, Raven?
Too many against Druid.
Okay.
Now the choice between the Jade Claws and the Primal Fin, but as you said, Primal Fin's needs a very, very direct answer, and often it's just not there. They can't even coin out the swipe. But now with Wild Growth into swipe and saving the coin, they do have an answer, and also with Maya Keeper, as I told you, Sal, these decks can ramp pretty quick.
Look at the curve though. Maya Keeper next turn pushes them to 6 on their following turn, then that Maya Keeper afterwards pushes them to 8 on their following turn. They already have Lich King, a coin, and an Ultimate Infestation to follow that.
Something that's already great, about this tournament is you can almost cast the game by looking at the player cams. Like, both Radu, Na'Vi, and Dog were all just giggling to themselves as they're like, yeah, I think we get to 10 mana pretty quick, team. Let's do this. And we even see them forsaking the swipe on curve just to go harder and harder on the ramp, as you mentioned.
Yeah, of course. I mean, with the context of the hand that you have, you're just jamming these Maya Keepers as quickly as you can, ramping up to now Ultimate Infestation and Deathwing Dragonlord alongside that Lich King. You've got plenty of time to swipe away this board. The worst thing that's going to happen to you is Thrall Deathseer, and that's not even available yet. So you've got some time to chill if you're Chillblade Crusaders.
Yeah. Devolve doesn't get much done versus this deck, unfortunately for Ant and the big time Buccaneers. That's a great band name, actually.
Seems like a lot of deliberation this turn from big time Buccaneers. I wonder what they're talking about right now.
So you play something, we play Thrall next turn. We make a bunch of 3-drops and a 4-drop. If you play like a Jade Behemoth, we'd still have Thing from Below as well.
How do we, what's best against Spreading Plague next turn?
Probably like Thing from Below.
Okay. But then we're not killing it?
I'm fine with just playing Thing from Below. You guys okay? Okay.
Nice teamwork dynamic there. Stan saying, you know, I want everyone's sign off before I make a play, not really pushing too strong. But seem to have a quick answer there with Alistraza, just saying, yeah, it seems good. Just drop a 5-5 onto the board and start. They know they're being ramped hard into something, right? Because that's what Big Druid does. So, like, you know what? Just drop a 5-5, right? That helps them either put forward a problem for the Chillblade Crusaders.
Well, Ali quite rightly identified a threat that, you know, we're not necessarily thinking about because we're looking at the hand. Ali, straight away, almost first thing we heard there was, which of our plays is best against Spreading Plague? Because that would be the huge problem. Yeah, they've got this Primal Fin totem out of control, but now if Spreading Plague comes down, they can at least kill one of the 1/5s and then evolve their board into, as Ant said, a bunch of 3-drops. First little bit of deliberation from Chillblade as well, though it looks like they've reached a bit of a deviation here. They're going to throw out the swipe, and now I kind of like this because it means they can just coin out Lich King next turn anyway, then resume the ramp into a 10-drop. So their curve looks like coin Lich King into Maya Keeper into a 10-drop via Ultimate Infestation.
Also as well, no matter how hard and how good your ramp is, if you just give Shaman a Bloodlust turn, well, yeah, okay, you drop Lich King. Well, then they just Bloodlust, kill it with 2 minions and hit you for, you know, maybe 12 or something. So you really need to just hit a point where you just push them back. Big time Bucks. Have a lot of nothing to go wide on the board at the moment. I don't know if this is something they consider in terms of just dropping the Doppelgangster to set up for the Thrall Deathseer. Let's find out.
there's 7. I don't know.
Is
That's
Doom
embarrassing. How do I not know that?
Doom to remove 5 from the top of your deck?
Yeah,
Some of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Alright, I
there's
think there's 6. I think you got them all.
That card is great. I
In
don't
this deck,
think-
yeah, it's
I
pretty
still
nuts.
think they don't know that we're big trade. To be
They
honest.
should probably know. I kind of like Mire Keeper, Ramp, Wrath trade. Next turn we have Coin UI.
Coin UI.
Okay.
Is it? Let's just think about it a bit more.
No, I think that's best.
What do they want to do next turn? Doppel Evolve. That's their best play.
Doppel Evolve.
Always.
Then we can UI whatever they have.
Yeah.
and drop
Alright.
play.
I guess we have to
don't
clear
know.
the thing then. Yeah.
I
So-
mean,
so you like Lich King?
Lich King stays alive, but I think ramping now is probably our most ideal.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, yeah. So he just wants to go Wrath, Mire Keeper trade.
But if they double evolve, what do we do?
We have the Mire Keeper still.
That was weird.
That was
Yeah.
probably the Spectator.
Yeah.
I mean, we also have UI, right? So it's like 2 6-drops against a 5/5 generally, and a 1-drop and a 2-drop. I don't know. I think it's our best line, but
I agree. I think that ramping for the UI
Yeah.
is really good. And
Okay,
then
let's do
we
it.
try and find like play, try and
yeah,
find
yeah,
primordial Drake.
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. It's just getting the plague and stuff. It's more time.
so yeah.
I really like what RDU was saying there. I think he should have stuck up for himself a little bit more. Dog and Naviute were saying, hey, what's the worst thing that can happen? Doppel Evolve, right? And I think RDU's point that he didn't really quite get out there is, well, if they're going to Doppel Evolve, don't we just want an 8/8 on the board that they can't kill if they do that? That then just deals with one of their minions, draws us 2 Lich King cards?
Often deals with 2 of the minions,
Exactly.
to be honest, yeah.
Right. I think that's a really good point, and I think it maybe could have fought his point a little bit harder there, but he did seem fine in the end, and lots of jovial chuckles going on now. But
That's what comes into it in the team format, though, right? You know, if you've got an idea, but the other 2 just agree, it's very difficult to say, no, I'm going to do mine, because the whole point is it's a team game. I do like the fact that Navi was like, no, let's slow down, right? Don't just jump at a turn. We've got time. Let's slow down and think about it there. So he's playing the role of just keeping everyone calm. We know Radu is normally a relatively fast player. Dog seems to be in tune with him there. But now big time Buccaneers are just going wide on the board. That Barnes dropping down to get the Doppelgangster means that suddenly the double evolve turn looks that little bit scarier.
I'd be really curious to check in again with Chillblade Crusaders here and see how they follow this line through from the previous turn.
Lich King Wrath.
Do we even die to Bloodlust?
No, we don't. I'm
It's
pretty
15,
sure we don't.
19, 21. No, we don't. Even
We
without
get
the
5 armor. We get 5 armor.
even without the 5 armor, we still don't die. Pew.
We have double innervates, so just wait. This con's good.
Yeah, the armor game.
Drake is
Oh,
sick.
this is Drake is great. Swipe
Okay.
is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Con is really good.
Yeah.
Con's insane.
We just play for the body, right?
I loved it. They drew cards and they're like, oh, this card's good. Oh, this card's good. It's almost like they filled the deck with good cards.
Yeah, and then Kun came out and it was, oh, this card allows us to just play those other cards for free. Nice.
Great. So here comes the Thrall Death Seer, which is effectively the double evolve. See how it plays out. There's the Doppelganger down, so that is going to be the biggest minion on the board, even though now it is in 1/1. Ooh. Yeah, ooh, indeed. That's a pretty decent evolve. There's the skeleton on the end that's kind of bad, but the Stormwatcher, the Wasp, and Shaku, there's a lot of value in those 3 minions. A hell of a lot of value, actually.
That giant wasp looks pretty appealing against Big Druid as well, but little do they know it's about to get hard-bodied by this Primordial Drake.
Yeah, it seems pretty good, right? They can even follow up with the trade and the hero power, or or Wrath into the Stormwatcher just to stop it, getting any potential value going forward.
Yeah, leading the turn off with Kun,
Yeah,
of course,
sure.
because that is pretty much a given. It's a 7/5, sure, but you will take your 0-mana 7/5 in this situation.
Just an extra massive minion.
Yeah.
And there's a 5/5 because of that skeleton. Probably going to be the hero power. I think with the Moonglade Portal and Spreading Plague and the second Ultimate Infestation, they feel pretty okay about taking effectively 3 damage here.
I do not see a promising way back into this for the big-time Buccaneers, but let's listen in, see if they have any grand plan that I can't identify.
And then Jade Lightning, so like lets us evolve. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
So you want Jade Lightning to 4/8 and then double trade in?
We could do that. I don't know which one you think is better.
I mean, they're both 3 drops, right? So
Yeah.
doesn't really matter which one we keep alive.
What are we doing with the other two?
Well, we would have traded the Shaku, I think.
So Shaku into 4/8, Lightning 4/8,
Yeah.
Punch 4/8, and then this goes phase and you
Evolve.
evolve that?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I can see that.
What would we do with like extra 2 mana, like Jade Claws or something? Double Firefly maybe?
I wouldn't hate getting
How big is our
the
Jade?
J Claws. I mean, is there anything we need to do with
Well, it's
9
gonna be
mana next
3/3.
turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I should go for it.
Order lol.
Should we get the J Claw? Yeah.
Ooh, smack him.
That's actually pretty funny there from Ant. He actually said the turn in the correct order, then did it in the wrong order, with not trading in Shaku first to see what the spell happened there. There's Corcoran Elite from the Evolve, so not bad. Or from the Transmute Spirit, should I say. Not bad to just get an extra bit of damage there and provide a bit of a scary minion. So now it's all on Chillblade Crusaders. See if they can hold off this push, because they have to be feeling that this is the final push from Big Time Bucks.
Yeah, they're definitely in a relatively cool position here. Lich King and Wrath can still take full control of the board, put a massive taunt in the way, stop the J-Claws connecting, because I said I didn't really see a win condition. That Corcoran did kind of give them one.
Yeah,
that
there was just
4
like
extra
something there,
damage
right?
gave them a glimmer, but this deck is very, very defensively capable, perhaps even more so than Jade Druid is,
Yeah.
of being able to like stop decks getting over the line against it.
Yeah, it's because it has so little early game except for ramp. It needs to be able to either recover the damage it took early on, or just fight early on. And second Doppelgangster here, not really going to do it for Big Time Bucks. They're really just feeling the no evolve draw at this moment in time. They've had that Doppelgangster, the first one in hand, for most of the game. And now they've got the second one, and there's not a lot they can do about it.
Druid's just too big. It just got too big, too quick, and they
Bigger
haven't
than
been able to
medium.
handle it.
This Transmute Spirit's going to have to be huge here.
Nope.
Not as huge as I thought it needed to be. It's not as big as Big Druid, which is a problem.
Chillblade Crusaders have all the choices in the world here, but I imagine they are borderline celebrating their victory at this point. Let's find out.
How do you? You're a monster, dude. I want to, like, I don't know, play my cards.
Whatever.
Toast is like, you guys aren't following the script. Like,
And that is going to be the game there. Chillblade Crusaders take it. Dog with the look over to the other team and the throat cut is like, you guys are out. Game number 1. I like it. I like to see this.
We didn't quite catch it, but it seemed like RDU might have been thinking along the same lines as me, where there was a bit of torturing of the opponent possible there, but it seems like he was convinced to just slam the Alexstrasza, win the game on the spot. It's one of the big buffs of having that card in the deck. You just can end the game on the spot, because you generally have 15 power in play a lot of the time.
Yeah, the minions are pretty big, but the Big Time Bucks haven't been doing it so well so far in this tournament. But let's check out, see if they can do a little bit better in a card game with Throwdown.
Welcome, Big Time Buccaneers, to another kind of challenge we want to introduce to you for this BlizzCon Hearthstone Invitational. Guess the card. We're challenging your knowledge and your ability to describe the card that the person in the hot seat is going to put to their forehead. But you can't use any text or numbers on it. And the purpose of the challenge is to see how the team chemistry and synergy is going.
Righteous Protector, but neutral. Without the...
Oh, Argent Squire.
Yeah.
Very nice, solid
Very
start.
nice.
Used on a dog. Strong.
Bestial Wrath.
Yes.
Ravenhold Assassin.
Yeah.
Igneous Elemental.
Thrallmar Farseer.
That is flawless.
Oh.
Flip it around.
Yeah.
It's a hard challenge enough.
Mage. DK.
Frostlich Jaina.
Easy. The boss of that card.
The Lich King.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Hand?
Ancestral Spirit, but from Paladin.
Oh, God.
You know the card? Or were you not
Just
describing
keep
Okay.
describing it.
Redemption, but Death Rattle.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm just not
it's-
gonna know it. Staple of Miracle Rogue.
Gadget's an Auctioneer.
Crushed it.
Someone dies, you put them in a...
Grave Shambler.
Also like Ancestral Spirit.
Corpse Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
When you lift something, you...
Corpse Razor.
There you go.
Hey, last card.
She is the sister to Alex Straza.
Ysera.
Wow, very nice.
All right.
11 out of 12. I don't know if any other team can beat that.
There's no way. Absolutely not.
Crushed it.
Big Time Bucks playing the wrong card game on stage. They are very, very good at that. We didn't get to play.
As the giant stick in the mud that I am, though, I have to point out that Disguised Toast did cheat. He said Death Rattle on a card that had the word Death
that is
Rattle on it.
true.
That was the one they got wrong, though. So it actually
so we
had
can't
no
even
effect.
minus them
Yeah.
the win because they actually still got it wrong. But the Bucks there not doing too well, and it's probably typical because they were my pick as a prediction. Next game, though, it's going to be Alex Straza's deck for Big Time at Buccaneers. We can take a look at what she has brought to the table. It is her Druid, and it is very large. Some might even say big.
Is a large Druid indeed. The Innovate still being packed in there, even though they are just counterfeit coin at this point. But yeah, when you are packing a grand total of 6 10-drops in your deck, you will take some counterfeit coins.
It always makes me laugh. Look at that. They list at how high up the list, like Spreading Plague.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It shouldn't be there. Let's check out Navi's list. It is going to be the Rogue, and it is the Elemental Tempo Rogue here. And what do you think about this? It's definitely not the standard build for the sort of Tempo Rogue style.
Yeah, I prefer the non-elemental version myself, but it's just such a great shell that there's so many tech slots essentially that you can rotate around, and that makes enough room to put this elemental package in there, especially when a lot of the non-elemental lists are already running Firefly and Tar Creeper anyway. You're not adding that much to it.
And we saw a Tolvair in the deck as well, which means that could actually be a real problem if they can get it off on curve versus Druid, because they don't really have good ways to interact with that card. The Divine Shield's frustrating, and the health outside of, yes, Ultimate Infestation or whatever, can be kind of awkward. So that might be the base they try and build around. So let's get into the game now. Of course, the Big Time Bucks on Straza's Druid. Yes, you're an Raging Bound. Go back in the deck. You can come out later on.
Slightly more difficult mulligan choice there for Chillblade Crusaders. A little bit bummed we didn't get to catch it there, because I was kind of wondering what they were looking for. Again, they're going up against the Alex Straza's Druid themselves, having not yet seen the standard decks from Big Time Buccaneers, so they didn't even know what they were mulliganing against.
Yeah, we could listen to Buccaneers for the next turn here, just to see how they deal with this relatively high cost mana.
Well, I'm glad we mulliganed every card, honestly.
I feel like we're just losing to bad draws.
Yeah.
Every single game. Feels so bad.
Every single
They just don't want you to win, Toast.
So should we play the 8-drop or the 10-drop or the other 10-drop?
It's good to hover cards, but like...
Or the other 10-drop.
We're definitely going to hero power and kill something.
Mm-hmm. Definitely this one, right, guys?
Yeah.
So, match 3.
All right.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
You don't keep Nourish too, like. Needed to go for Wild Growth and Mire Keeper.
If we had coin, it'd be more reasonable,
Yeah,
but I don't think without coin.
With coin, you'd keep it, but without coin, no.
Great moments and great strategical discussions. We are losing to bad hands.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
do we play this 10-drop, or this 10-drop, or this 10-drop, or this 10-drop?
And maybe the competitive player representative on Big Time Buccaneers, but Disguised Toast is definitely getting into the competitive player mentality, which is, of course, every time you lose, it's not your fault.
100% couldn't agree more there. And I like as well afterwards, they were all like just trying to make themselves feel better about it. They were like, yeah, the Nourish throw was correct, you know. It's just unfortunate. We'll see what we can do. Toast there, wanting to talk about game number 3 already.
Yeah, crucially as well, because it might sound a bit weird if you realize we're playing best of 3 here, but Disguised Toast was like, hey, all right, game 3, because very importantly, they were in this same spot where they went 2-0 down in their first series, but they were able to win the game 3. And game score does matter for tiebreakers and for that extra bonus treasure that you get at the end that can get your team a whole additional point.
Yeah, and if the rest of the match, the rest of the day get really close, that bonus treasure literally could get you in as opposed to dropping you out in bottom. So far, though, Scalebane on the board with Shaku. There's the Nourish. but there's not a lot to do with it this turn. He can get it played, but the big time Bucks still have some time to kill. This is still going to be one more big push from Chillblade Crusaders.
Yeah, crucially, it does get them to 8, though. So now their cards actually come into play, and if they don't walk into Vilespine over the next couple of turns, then they'll actually be in good shape. So now Chillblade Crusaders have seen Big Time Bucks hand ramp up. Let's see what they're thinking over these coming turns.
Like he's going to have another big guy.
I say we don't hit it, personally. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Now they're going to play around Primordial Drake because we've been thinking so long. It's like, it might be like fine to not hit it and just like play Lich King or something.
Yeah.
Try to go for, what's the card called? Doom Pack?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we thought about it for too long, probably.
Yeah. If we did it at the beginning, then it would have been fine. Or if we like thought about it and then.
It's okay.
That's, media positioning, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what would be a good card?
Such a pro player.
Naturalize.
I know. All right, so we have a dagger in face here, like, because it's on. We're like getting
go
close
for
to
it.
the
Yeah, dagger
issue,
face.
So just poke.
Yeah.
And what if they just jam out the good old double cold light?
All right, that's good.
Double naturalize. That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be bad for us.
Yeah, no, that'd be sick. Be cool.
We're taking a million here.
They just need a 1-drop Vilespine, right?
Yep.
Or a Cold Blood.
No, it's perfect Vilespine for them.
The funny thing is, even if we
Backstep aside.
It is, right? 8, 16, 17, because we poked last turn.
What? Oh, yeah.
Backstep.
Yeah.
Aside, yeah.
Backstep aside. It's lethal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the game has gone so badly for Big Time in terms of the opening. The Chillblade Crusaders believe this is Mill Druid. They're like, well, what if they play Cold Lights and Naturalize now? We lose. This is going to be a hell of a lot of damage.
And crucially, Navi's decision, which he kind of pushed out on his own without Dog's agreement to dagger face on the previous turn, set him up for an exact lethal there on the follow-up. Very, very nicely done. Quick 2-0 for Chillblade Crusaders.
Yeah, and it's also 2-0 for them so far today, so that's 2 treasures already. But what they really want as well is to win game number 3, which means they get as many game wins as possible, and also deny potential game wins from the other teams. And just look at the cute faces. They're just happy little Hearthstone players. We've got another game coming up, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have to see if the Big Time Buccaneers can get a win in this match. Don't go anywhere. Chillblade Crusaders doing extremely well so far in the Hearthstone Invitational here at BlizzCon. Is it going to be just unstoppable for them? Have they got anyone that's going to contend them?
I mean, they say it themselves. They've got all the chillest dudes. They've got all the hottest guys. They're the pick of all the smartest casters, Raven. And so far, they're living up to it.
Yeah, so swiftly moving on from caster predictions for this tournament, because I picked the big-time Buccaneers. Chillblade Crusaders are doing extremely well in this, but did they do extremely well in the card game? Let's find out.
The rope. No.
What?
I'll let you know when to start. I'm joined by the Chillblade Crusaders. We're gonna play a little game that's gonna test your communication skills. RDU is gonna put a card on his forehead, and you guys have to use words that are not on the card to describe it, and he'll have to guess based on your descriptions what that card is. Let's go with the first card.
Angry, anger from like an animal. Like
Call of the Wild.
no.
Think of the most
All right, that's it.
Oh my God.
Time's up.
All right, it's an epic, and I
Warrior and
yeah.
go infinite.
Dead Man's Hand.
Replace your hero.
Frosty Jaina.
All right, last one for Roddy.
The same cost as a Violet Teacher.
And it is, oh my god.
I mean, I wouldn't know the card.
That was not good.
Man, 2 for 4. That's not good.
You guys are currently 50%. Your team communication not looking good for the Invitational right now.
It's like the iconic, it's iconic, dude.
Yeah.
Frostmourne.
Oh, Lich King.
Yeah, OG Destroyer of Priest.
Oh, you sir.
It's a card like nobody plays. I've never seen this card before.
Keep going.
But the iconic card for Rogue.
Oh, Judges and Auctioneer?
Yeah.
You guys are currently 5 out of 8.
He's an orc.
Dami Facio,
Bingo.
The Beast,
It's rare.
Gromash, Alex Strauzel.
10 seconds.
Same amount of cost as Dr. Boom.
Ravenhold Assassin.
That was close.
He's
He's not getting it. Buzzed out.
Very classic.
just Fire.
Wow. Read each other's minds. Your final score, 8 out of 12. The big-time Buccaneers, one of your competitors from the Invitational, got 11 out of 12 in the same game. How does that make you feel?
They know the names of the cards, but we know how to play those cards. What's more important?
Shots fired. Thoughts shared.
Shots fired indeed, and to be fair, they're feeling confident as they are currently 2-0 in this series.
I mean, pretty accurate shots by the way things are going so far. Chillblade Crusaders have been crushing the competition, but I've got to side with their assessment there in the little game of charades. Playing Desperate Stand in that game is cruel, because, come on, who has played with that card?
Especially when you can't use the words in the card to describe it, right? Because it's so strange. But we're going to see if the big-time Buccaneers can get a win under their belt in this series. Toast, it's going to be his rogue here, and it is the Tempo Rogue.
And remember that Toast has never played a competitive deck in his life, so this is actually the first time he will be playing Tempo Rogue, guaranteed.
We'll see how it works out for him. Just like his rogue, though, as his name does come from the rogue class to a certain extent. Dog is going to be on the Priest, and he has got Shock Horror, Shadow Reaper Anduin, Raza the Unchained, and this, as we remind everyone, is standard. This is not wild that we saw earlier.
Right.
So this is one of the powerhouses, if not the powerhouse, of the current metagame.
Yeah, tier 3 deck in air quotation marks aside, yes, it is one of the most powerful decks in the format.
How about lull in air quotations? We know what it would achieve.
I think the Lullimo and air quotes pretty much achieve the same
That's what
thing.
I mean,
It'd be kind of redundant to do both.
It'd be kind of strange, but maybe that's why you do it.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone loves a bit of redundancy, but let's kick off this game. Big time Bucks. Not on the coin. With Rogue, it's going to be a little bit frustrating, especially with that Vicious Fledgling. Normally coining it out just that one turn quicker makes it even more deadly than it already is. But Chillblade champions just doing the old Priest thing of mulligan most of the cards away, try and get Raza and Anduin.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on, none of their cards said gain on them, and this time they had none of the Highlander cards in their hands, so they were just tossing it away. But Vicious Fledgling, very, very big deal in this matchup. If you actually look at the stats over time, Rogue's win rate skyrocketed in this matchup when Vicious Fledgling started coming into the deck, and the reason for that is there's only one good answer in Chillblade's deck, and that is that Shadow Pain that they've just picked up.
Yeah, and them having that answer is absolutely huge here. just getting the draw with the Cleric there, just putting a solid body on the board, and just presents a problem for big-time Buccaneers in how they deal with this Cleric. So let's see what their plans are going to be.
Nah, you're good. Let's dance.
Herald, Volage, Karen Bloodhoof.
Using the patches.
Sorry, Patches.
Sorry, patches.
You served us well.
Bam. Bam, 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 turkey and ham.
That's a thing?
I just made it up.
I really like the... Ooh, that's fine. I really like the flip.
Ocean Eye. But it's quite useless with out of the Cleric. Yeah.
Dude, I just made eye contact with Ant and like, yo, I think there's something there.
Just pain.
Watch, you're dead to me.
Oh, God.
Yeah, stagger.
Do we smack?
This is I like the...
You're dead to me!
Well, no, this is the best, right? One, that's just funny, but the fact that they're trying to shout over to each other when they have soundproof headsets on doesn't quite work. Also, there have been a lot of announcements at BlizzCon so far. The newest one is Alistraz's new catchphrase. Bam, 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 turkey and ham.
If she did actually just make that up, she's a genius, because that's brilliant. She should run with that.
She might have to now. I've just said it was a catchphrase, so we'll see how it plays out going forward. The Scalebane and the Vile Spine.
I still can't quite believe. Hearthstone is such serious business that Ant, the nicest guy on the planet, you're dead to me.
I mean, we had half the crowd chanting death, 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 death early in the expansion announcement, so don't put it past anyone.
It's weird, because Knights of the Frozen Throne was supposed to be the expansion where everybody died, but apparently the death is the theme of this one.
It will be when I try it.
Sure.
No doubt. Scalebane's going to come down. The Vile Spine is going to be nice just to be able to just get away one of the more trickier minions like the Priest of the Feast. It kind of can be awkward to deal with or just sinks a lot of resources. Straight up answer there. Maybe a bit frustrating for big time Bucks that now that Shadow Word Pain was used to kill the bird, and then there's the Shadow Word Death to kill the Scalebane. Very frustrating for them.
Couple of decisions here for big time Bucks. Let's check in, see what their thought process is.
And then Vile Spine, depending on if he plays a really big minion. These people are just staring at our faces.
Yeah, I know. I think we just have to go like Herald, Velagio, and then like
Velagio,
pass, I guess.
Yeah. 5-5 coming at you.
Well, they just use death on the 5/5 too, so like they have to have an answer.
It's really just if they have Anduin.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
do they have Anduin? A question we have all asked ourselves since that card has been released often. But this Herald Velagio, or whatever Ant called this card, is going to be the saving grace at the moment. It did survive the turn, so it means he can actually get some work done, and maybe finally Big Time Bucks can start getting something going with this tempo deck.
Yeah, no great surprise, honestly, to see Chillblade just hard pass that turn. They were at 30. There was a 5/5 on the board that they can afford to tank for a couple of turns, and they have a Dragonfire potion in their hand that they just want big-time Buccaneers to extend into.
And also Dragonfire kills almost all of the minions in any given rogue deck, so it's like, oh yeah, play more minions. You're not going to not play more minions, so why not get the value?
The hand is starting to fall apart just a little bit, though. Chillblade Crusaders might be having to ration out their resources over a couple of turns. Acolyte of Pain is a nice pickup in this spot, though.
Also a big deal here for Big Time Bucks. They've not had the best opening, but the Lich King has been finding itself again more and more in everyone's decks recently. And, well, they already saw the death. So as they said, do they have Anduin? We can see they don't, but we can also check out now for what Big Time Buccaneers think in Chillblade Crusaders' hand.
And I also feel like they've got Dragonfire.
I mean, they did like pass.
So it's really just what's going to put us in the better position. If
I think it just like.
They can also pint-size horror the board too.
How important is it to deny a draw right now? It might be important. I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely know they don't have Raza.
I sort of like the fledgling Vile Spine.
I don't mind it. It sucks to Dragonfire, but like if they have it, I don't know. It's either that or like
Yeah, because
we
then
just jam Lich King.
Yeah, right. Because they Dragonfire and then we drop Lich King and then they end it win. So it's kind of.
I think whichever one you want to go with, I think is fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool with either.
YOLO.
Okay.
I think the denying the draw might be relevant.
Do we punch? Probably not.
I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do.
Because like working in a deck is a lot easier.
Oh, they seem not phased at all.
Yeah. I wonder if we would have Shadow.
Circle doesn't full clear, right?
No.
So
Nah, just Dragonfire.
Yeah.
Orc Circle is still like nice to have though. So yeah.
It's good we drew that. It's a good card.
Yeah.
It's bad with Priest of the Feast.
Yeah.
Be careful.
There's definitely a lot of anti-synergy there.
We definitely punch.
Definitely. Come on,
Good
something
card.
amazing. Something amazing.
That's reach.
It's actually not that bad. I'll take it.
Like we can go Leroy Shadow Step Leroy.
Yeah.
Just totally fire it.
Yeah, set it up.
Do we also silence it? I think so.
I don't think so.
You just want to give them another card?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, what else are we silencing? Only Bone Mare target?
Yeah, maybe. If they're playing this list, they're not playing Can. So
Yeah. I would silence it.
they're telling us to play Raza. No, I mean not Raza.
You want to silence it?
I
just don't know. That's the only
think we
question.
silence it. Yeah, I think it's worth.
Okay,
It's
I'm down.
maybe if we want to save silence for Priest though, of Priest of the Feast, like
It's
we're going pretty low. I don't know.
We don't run Auctioneer or anything.
We're not low.
All right. Silence it?
Yeah, I would silence it.
Okay.
That'd be amazing. Oh my god, what is this?
Smite. Silence.
Silence. Okay.
Dude, I'll take
Oh,
that.
we can Shadow Step this.
Oh my god, we can.
Pog Jam.
Okay.
And we know he definitely does not have Andor.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
Oh.
Shit.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good about that. We're just doing it, right?
I mean, they couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. If they couldn't, they have to like top deck. Maybe they're trying to get super greedy.
It's like, do you think we value cards, or do you just want to smack him in the face? Is this 12? You know what?
Oh man.
I kind of feel like smacking him in the face, honestly.
I feel
We
like
have 5
smacking him
burn.
in the face. might
Considering Leroy's an L too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do we Taro or Hero Power?
I think we Hero Power.
Hero Power.
I think we just want to kill him.
Yep.
Wow, a lot went on in those few turns. It looks like it's working out pretty well for big-time Buccaneers. But also, I'm quite enjoying the additional metagame of like staring out and like waving over to their opponents because they're playing so close together. Just look at them all staring at each other.
I want to rewind a few turns though, because I think Ali Straza actually had a very, very good point that got lost in the shuffle. The turn when they were debating whether or not to play Lich King, and it walked straight into Shadow Reaper Anduin. Ali said, well, if they have Shadow Reaper Anduin, then no matter when we play Lich King, we're going to get punished. So we might as well ignore it and play it now.
Yeah.
And I think that was absolutely right. But their line has got them into a very, very nice position because Chillblade Crusaders tried to do something very, very cute against their Lich King.
Yeah, and it didn't work out, did it? They also had the Shadow Step as well. Let's see if big-time Bucks now. Vile Spine is such a big card here. It can just obliterate the Tar Creeper. There's the Shadow Steps, the Death Coil as well. That's a lot of damage. So, how much damage is it?
It's a large number, yeah. They're just basically picking their way. They want to activate this Vile Spine Slayer.
Is this going to be the story of the tournament here? Big-time Buccaneers that were 2-1, sorry, 1-2, should I say. Only got 1 win in the last match. They're going to get another win in this one, so they keep plucking away. There's a disguised toast.
There you go. That's what the discussion was about that turn, where they clearly had lethal. Just the most stylish way they could have ended the game and pick up their second 1-2 result. But remember, those little game wins that they picked up in both of these series are massively important for the tiebreakers and for the final bonus treasure at the end.
Yeah, the big-time Bucks take their second game win, but most importantly here, the Chillblade actually end up taking their second treasure of the tournament. 2 matches, 2 treasures. They are looking very, very strong indeed.